we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast Hunting, Public Hunting Edition. Brought to you by our good friends over at Shin Gear. Check them out at shingear.com. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
You need anything from Shin? They'll be in Des Moines next weekend and then Memphis weekend after that.
Have all their stuff there. Come check them out. I will be at Des Moines with Boss, and then we will have our own booth at the show at Ducks in Memphis. Memphis is an amazing, by far the best waterfowl thing I've ever been to in my life. So anyways, with us today from Oakland, Nebraska, Mr. Sam Fulton. Sam, how are you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
You're wearing a shirt that says Fulton Brewing. Are you in the brewing business?
No, I'm not. The guy that I used to take on some of my guided trips actually is from the Minneapolis area, and he has he's a small part, an investor in the brewery. Figured out after we had hunted together for 4 years that my last name was Fulton, and he sent me probably a half dozen of these shirts and sweatshirts. I'm actually one of the weird guys that I can't drink beer. I have some sort of allergy to it, so I'm a vodka drinker, really. So.
I found that out later in life that I have that also. Whenever I drink,
Wasn't it Coors Light?
Coors Light really, really fucks me up. Like, I got to take my inhaler, nose starts running. So I figured it out later in life. Like, I was in my late 20s I was in my 30s when I finally just kind of started putting two and two together. I always just kind of chalked it up to seasonal allergies, but
What's in the beer that causes that?
No idea. So I just stay away from beer.
Kind of similar deal with me. You know, took me a long time to learn my lesson. But Busch Light, I would drink a handful of them and start to feel weird, and it's not worth it. So
My same thing happens to me if I drink a bunch of beer. I start feeling weird.
I can do like Mexican beer. I can do Pacifico. I have Pacifico in my fridge right now, so I can do Pacifico. That doesn't really bother me, but
that answered that question.
Like domestic beers get me. I think even Miller Lite kind of gets me, but Coors Light definitely. There's something in Coors Light. I'll have 2 of those, and the next day I'll have to take my inhaler that night. I'll runny nose. I don't know what it is, but it fucks me up.
Yeah, me
even
too.
just 2 beers. Like
now I know why we have Pacifico in the outside pool fridge.
Yeah, that's right.
Mom bought them for you.
I'm a West Coast guy, Jeff.
That's always you're spoiled. Your mom thinks you're still 12. She's got to cater to y'all still.
Buying beer for a 12-year-old, 12-year-old Andy.
I thought about that after I said that. That didn't sound right. But that's so vodka don't bother you then, and I did not.
Yeah.
So I thought vodka was made just out of potatoes.
Yep.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Is
so I've only brought it up to one doctor. I have a family friend who was my general doctor for a long time, and I talked to him about it one time. When I was in college, I would always try and drink beer, just younger growing up. And it seemed like it would, kind of make me sick earlier than it should have. And he told me I quit doing it for a really long time. And he said, on top of that, it's kind of like those people that you hear about that try like the fad diets, like keto, gluten-free, whatever. When you cut something out, and then try to do it again, your body rejects it.
Right.
And so I had probably had a 2 or 3 year span there where I didn't drink a beer, tried drinking it again, and it was even worse. And so I don't do it. There's no point when you're trying to relax and have fun with your buddies.
Feeling like shit.
Sick. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I'm not a big drinker anyway. I'm not really great at sitting still, and when I'm hungover, I'm kind of a bum. So
yeah. How old are you, Sam?
I just I'm 32.
Okay.
So,
all right. Yeah. The hangovers don't get any easier. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
You wait till you're 60 almost. Shane had a hangover in 10 years.
What's crazy is like I've cut down on my drinking a lot. Like a lot. Like maybe once a month.
You make it sound like you used to drink a lot though, and you weren't a big drinker.
I never was a big drinker. I mean, I drink more than I probably should. I would drink a couple times a week, but nothing like to excess. Just like sit down, edit a podcast, I'll have a bourbon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wasn't getting drunk every night, but I was definitely, sit down, I'll have a cocktail. But I see clips that I made from like 4 or 5 years ago, and my face was fucking pudgy.
You ain't never been pudgy in your life.
I'm telling you, I'll pull it up right now, and you look at my face right now, and my face there, I look like I was hoarding mothballs in my mouth.
The Michelin man.
Yeah, I was all fat. My face was bloated. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
big difference. Big difference.
Yep.
But cut that shit out when you can. But no, I never was a big drinker. I didn't get, like I said, it sounds like I'm an alcoholic, but cut it out. Cut it out, Jeff.
I was in Mexico at all inclusive this last week. Was there 5 days, and I bet I did not have 7 alcoholic drinks while I was there.
You're probably like the 0.1% of people that don't drink when they go do that deal.
I mean, to me, it's no different than I go anywhere else. If I go out to eat some nights, I'll have a drink. But there, it was really hot this time, and it was very humid. It was terrible humidity there. And I drank iced tea. I found a place that had really good iced tea. And usually when you go outside, no offense to most people, but when you get outside of the South, sweet tea or good iced tea is hard to find. They had really good.
If you ask for tea in Nebraska, I lived in Western Kentucky out of college, and I've had buddies visit me, and we go out to eat, and they ask for sweet tea, and they bring iced tea with little sugar packets to the table, and the guys are like, "What is this?" It's like, it's not a thing here, you know.
And I can drink unsweet tea; it don't bother me. I like unsweet or sweet, but they had good tea, and so I drank tea a lot of times. And a buddy was with me; he was the same way. He's not a big drinker. So there was 5 of us on our trip, and out of 5 of us, I'll bet you that the women, Michelle and Stacy, drank more than anybody, and they didn't drink that much either. If we would have went to a place that wasn't all inclusive, we'd have saved a bunch of money because we didn't eat or drink much at the resort. But anyways, let's get into duck hunting now. So
sure,
okay, I ask a question all the time, and so we're going to start this out in Nebraska. I got to get my computer to pull up; it's a little slow this morning. Where do you think, how many duck hunters are in the state of Nebraska, do you think?
Ooh. I'm going to say 10,000.
Well, I wish I could give you an answer, but right now somebody ain't loading
What
up.
the hell? You ask a question, you don't have the answer for it.
I didn't think, all I did was click the tab, and I thought it would be there.
Okay, so I am going to go over that. 17,000, Bob.
Well, we ain't going to know for a minute.
Oh, Lord of mercy. What have you done?
I haven't done anything. It just ain't loading up, and it was there before. So let me... Well, my next question is, and I'll come back to
you
this
don't
and
have
I
the
find
answer
it.
for that either.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Name me. Can you, or if you had to pick 3 people in the waterfowl world, who would you hunt with?
Ooh, that's tough.
They have to be alive.
I'd probably do Tony Vandemore.
That's the first we've had for Tony.
I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but the owner of White Oaks Duckwoods. Be interesting to talk to him. I'm really into the whole. It's cool, I think, when guys manage their properties and turn something that was maybe a good spot into a great spot. Number 3, I was going to say Phil, but
he's gone now.
R.I.P.
Yeah. I'd probably do Cy. He always makes me laugh, so
He
probably him.
is very funny guy.
Yeah. It's always good to have a joker in the blind. Keep the mood light if the hunt gets a little slow.
Yeah. So while Jeff is pulling all of this up, what is like the typical routine that you go through in a day? How far are you hunting away from your house? What's the system that they have in Nebraska for public land?
So our public land is first come, first serve. Depending on where I'm going, okay, we'll just say an average day, I probably, where I'm at, have about a 45-minute drive. So before our split, probably leaving the house 4-ish, 4:30, stop by the gas station, get a breakfast sandwich, coffee, all that good stuff, and then head out to the marsh and try and get there hopefully before another group, and get in and get set up. It's a deal where you're not sitting in your truck when you get there to wait for a buddy if he's late. You throw your stuff on and go. So
Okay, I got my shit up before I forget. Here we go.
Now Jeff's prepared.
Okay, how many? You said 10,000 duck hunters,
And I said 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's 13,000 duck hunters.
Shit, that means you won.
How many goose hunters are in Nebraska?
gosh, I almost feel like there might be more. I'll go 14,000.
I'm going to go 12,000.
There's the actual duck hunt number was 12,900.
Well,
and the
how'd you
actual
get to-
goose hunters is 13,000.
Okay.
So there it goes. Okay.
Almost split. Or
Nebraska
almost even.
Yep. Nebraska ranks 26th in duck harvest, 13th in goose harvest. Now, the top harvested ducks in the state of Nebraska.
I'm going to go mallard, gadwall, blue-winged teal.
Mallard, widgeon, blue-winged teal.
Mallard, blue-winged teal, green-winged teal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe that.
And the duck numbers are up this year, they're saying now.
Y'all kill a bunch of green wings during your winter season?
Yeah, I was almost going to say green wings over gadwalls because you can usually tell at the early teal season what's kind of the tail end of it, or if we get like a cold weather push during it, we'll shoot a couple green wings in the mix there. But I've shot green wings. I shot one that I have mounted on Christmas Eve, and it was negative something outside. I mean, we had the ice heater going and all huddled into the pit blind with the heaters cranked to 11. So
Yeah, they're a fun duck to shoot.
What gets me is all these states that blue-winged teal is in the top.
It's always a top duck in most states.
It shocks me because most states only get to kill them for 10 days. We don't shoot any blue-winged teal outside of September. That's very rare. Now, the Texas coast, they're going to kill a lot of blue-winged teal. So that makes us a little bit different. But like Oklahoma, there'll be blue-winged teal on that list too. And I'll be like, I guess there's that many people that teal hunt.
Our teal hunting has become crazy. I mean, I went to school in Kearney, which is smack dab in the middle of the state. Rainwater Basin is a pretty famous waterfowl area out there, and that's where I would say the meat and potatoes of our public land hunting is at. And in the last couple years, we've been dealing with droughts, so we don't have the water and everything. It's not uncommon to drive past one of the bigger marshes where they pump water and see 50, 60, 75 trucks before opening day at teal season.
Really? Yeah, that's what I was just looking up. Kansas, but we've already done them, so I gave their numbers. Their blue-winged teals are second most killed birds, but I think at Quivira and Cheyenne Bottoms, they say it sounds like a war zone on teal season.
Yep. Yeah, the amount of times that we've been in a marsh really early opening day of teal season, standing in the cattails, ready to go, and it's an hour or whatever before shooting time, and you're just seeing trucks go every which way down the gravel roads trying to find a marsh that has less trucks than the last one that they just went by. I mean, it's gotten to the point, it's one of my favorite hunts of the year, and I don't even go out to the Rainwater Basin anymore. I don't mess with it. The amount of times that I've been peppered, buddies have been peppered, dealing with groups that are setting up 50 to 60 yards away from you. It's kind of crazy. And it's really not safe is the other thing, they're all cattail sloughs pretty much. So a guy like me, I'm about 5'9", can't see me out there. And, teal, low buzzing birds, you're liable to get shot. And so I go to places that are kind of not as popular for that now.
You know what I've noticed? Like every state that has like a first come, first serve type of situation like Nebraska has, it sounds like a shit show. Like the states, like we had Illinois on last week, and they've got, you pick a blind, you draw a blind. Every year it's a big thing, you draw a blind, but like it's organized. Like everything is however many 100 yards away, 250 yards away, I think it was. But like you have a designated spot to go to. This is where you go. You can go to other spots if those people aren't at the blind, but it's organized and nobody's getting peppered, nobody's getting shot. These first come first served places, it seems like just the Wild West.
I've actually wrote to Nebraska Game and Parks and told them that I think that they need to go to a system like that, because I truly believe that someone is going to die during teal season eventually. And it's terrible to say that. I don't want it to happen, but you see the writing on the wall when you've gone out and done it for so long. All it takes is one of those times where it's a shot where you get peppered and the guy's a little too close or, whatever, and an accident's bound to happen. So it's kind of sad. I really don't want it to be a deal where people are getting turned away to hunt, but safety has to be number one with hunting. For me, that's always been the precedent of a hunt, and I don't know. It's kind of a scary deal. So,
yeah, I mean, on one, like you said, you hate to turn people away. First come, first serve. Like, just wherever you can safely get. But just people just don't have any fucking common sense. They'll set up 50 yards away from somebody and then ruins it for everybody. They're shooting birds at your decoying on the swing. They're shooting at them on the swing while you're trying to, get one more pass out of them. And I mean, it's just, and you think of like liberal Illinois, for all of its mistakes, but it seems like they had one of the better systems in place for public land hunters. Everybody's safe. You get a blind and go on from there. Yeah,
I think the quality of hunting would go up.
Yeah.
And when we have rain, that rainwater basin, there's public marshes everywhere out there. So there would be a lot of opportunity, but the problem is the last 4 or 5 years now, we've been so dry that instead of having 40 spots, there's 6 or 8. And so they just get packed to the gills. And the other problem is it's only an hour to about a 2-hour drive from Omaha and Lincoln, which is where 90% of the state's population is. So it gets pretty crowded.
Yeah. So how many guys do you got in your group? Do you go out solo a lot of times? You got like 3 or 4 buddies that go with you? What's that look like?
Oh, last couple years, I try to keep things small. Big group for me is probably 4 guys. When I was younger, I would go out with an army, but I just have kind of gotten away from that. So
what's the typical spread y'all are putting out?
Oh, a lot of our stuff just from packing in, I would say, is under 3 dozen.
How far y'all packing in stuff?
Just depends where the ducks are. I've done some walks that were horrible. I mean, baton death march.
So do you scout the night before or a couple days before? What's that look like?
Yeah, if it's a spot that we're driving to, it's usually a couple days before, or sometimes the night before. If there's a buddy out there that hunted that day, he might drive around, or I might, whatever, and try and find a spot with water, go back in and hunt it the next day. So,
what's going to be interesting? So the House just passed this daylight bill. The time we have now is going to stay. I bet we're going to see more hunters this year.
Go lazy guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
shooting time here, we figured it up. Shooting time's going to be like 8:30 here.
Yeah. So, hold on. At certain time, it will be like once we get to December, January, it will be 8:30 because it's still going to be a little early in the year.
Either way, it's going to be an hour later than what it has been in the past couple of years. So I think I bet we see more do-it-yourselfers that, miss the alarm some, not as like, fuck, I got to get up at 3 to get there. I got to get up at 2 to get there. Now it's not as bad. So I bet this year, if it passed, which I'm assuming it's going to pass the Senate, but I bet we see more public land hunters this year.
Yeah, probably so.
I'm trying to look that up to the sunrise charts. It's gonna definitely be a big change. Yeah, the lazy guys are gonna hunt more.
I just kind of wish they'd leave it alone. I don't mind getting up early. It's not gonna make, if you're doing things by daylight, it's not gonna matter. It's gonna be the same either way.
Sure.
We're either gonna get up an hour earlier, or we're going to be scouting an hour later. Like it's the same blanket, no matter what end you try to cut off of. It's the same amount of daylight. So we're either going to wake up at 3 or we're going to wake up at 4, or we're going to scout at 4 or we're going to scout at 5. Like either way, it's all going to equal out in the wash. So I just kind of wish they wouldn't mess with it. I've done it this way for the past 25 years, so leave it alone.
The first part of November, sunrise is 6:58, but it's going to be 7:58 now because they haven't changed it on this calendar.
Right.
But by November 30th, it's going to be 7:20 or 8:24 in the morning.
Yeah.
Will be sunrise. So shooting time would be 8:04.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm all right with that.
Yeah. I mean,
get a little more sleep in the morning.
For sure. Yeah. But, like I said, but now you're just going to be scouting an hour later. You know what I mean?
December, the last day of December, 8:43 will be sunrise.
So 8:11 is shooting time?
Yes.
Wow. I don't like it.
That's a big time difference.
I don't like it. Leave it alone, people.
Okay. How about this one now? Sunrise will be 8:44. It's going to be about 8:44. It's going to be in the middle of January. 8:15 will be legal shooting time. That's awful late. But what sucks is sunset now is going to be 7 o'clock at night.
Right.
Now, up there where you're at, it's probably a whole lot different because y'all get dark earlier.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting how that's
5:30.
So when you scout in the evening time, I'm assuming there's some public hunting holes that you have that are your little secrets.
Yeah.
And those places are getting harder and harder to keep because of all the technology we have and all the internet scouters.
Yep.
Do you have certain place you go, like when it's going to be cold and frozen up, that you know that there's going to be ducks at no matter what?
It gets really hard for us when it does that, but there are places when it's cold that can be really, really good. It's just how much work do you want to put in? Walk all the way in there, kick a hole open, and try and keep the hole open while you're hunting too.
How often do you, like, the past couple of years, it's been warmer and everything. So how often are you having to, like, kick a hole open?
Not a ton. But we're still, I'm in the northern part of Nebraska, so we can get a cold snap and get cold. Like last year, one of our only real snowstorms during duck season was right around Thanksgiving, and we got pounded with snow, probably got 8-10 inches in that storm, and it was freezing after that. So it can happen early, but it just depends.
Do you ever hunt around the is that Nibiroa? What's it?
Niobrara.
Yes, that's a beautiful place right there. I've always said that's where Terry Redland painted that, where that dog is sitting on overlooking the Missouri River. It's a beautiful place right there. Do you hunt around that area some?
Yeah, I do. My vet actually has a really nice spot in Santee, which is right by there. So I've spent some time up there with him. It's not one of my places that I normally go just because I don't have a duck boat, but it is one of the prettiest parts of Nebraska. I always laugh at the people that you meet that, oh, you're from Nebraska. It's so flat, and the only part of Nebraska they've seen is I-80. And it's like drive 20 miles north or south off I-80, and there's a decent amount of topography. But that Missouri River up there is, to me, one of the prettiest parts of the country, and the only state I have left is Alaska. So I've done some traveling.
Alaska's prettier than Nebraska, but
definitely.
But when you get to the sandhills and stuff, Nebraska is a pretty state. I live in West Texas. This is a shithole of the world. Mm-hmm. I mean, I love Texas, the people and everything else, but geography wise, this is not real pretty. You get in the hill country, it's beautiful in some places. But yeah, Nebraska is a real pretty. That area is beautiful. But you're like us. You appreciate the beauty of being outside and having wildlife. And it's not South Beach in Miami. But I wouldn't want to live in South Beach. I'd much rather live up there where you live at. So, what's the most unusual duck y'all have killed?
So I'm right by Tacoma, Nebraska. It's kind of a famous area. I think at one point, Decatur to Tacoma, which is a 10-mile drive, there was something like 45 commercial duck blinds there.
Ooh.
We shot a cinnamon teal early season when I was in, gosh, it was probably high school or early college years. And I've had some buddies that have shot Brewer's ducks. Know a guy who shot an albino teal, but me personally, I've never really killed any oddballs. So,
Well, an albino teal would be a freaking trophy.
What'd that thing look like?
The head was mostly white, and then the rest of its body was just kind of spots of white. But it was a really neat looking bird. Kind of a bummer that it got shot during early teal season because, in the molting process or whatever it is, and wasn't in full plumage by any means, but still a really cool bird.
I wonder if they would plume much though.
Don't get me lying.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Be a question for a biologist. There, Jeff. Did they mount it or did they just put it in the cleaning pile?
I can't remember.
Surely
knowing those guys, I would guess they mounted it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. What the cinnamon also probably not very pretty.
Not very pretty. It was one of those deals where it was in a pile of teal behind the pit blind, and one of the guys was looking at it and was like, "What's the deal with that thing?" And everybody started looking at it, and it was just red. I mean, you could see on the ends of all of the feathers, it had kind of a rusty look to it. And one of the guys in the blind sent it to one of his buddies who hunts the Great Salt Lake, and he said, "Yeah, it's just not plumed out cinnamon." So
yeah, we kill cinnamons during early teal season always, but they're not.
But it's one of those things like you got to kind of look at it and you're like,
Right.
Probably a cinnamon.
Is that a blue wing or a
that's
cinnamon?
kind of how it was.
Yeah, yeah. You can see like like you said, when you put it up against like a true blue wing teal, you look at it and you're like, it's a little different. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's a cinnamon. But it's not pretty enough to mount or anything. It's not pretty enough for anybody to mount. I mean,
Yep.
it's just kind of got some rust on it.
Yep.
Yeah. So when's like when's the time of year that you try to go out, like make sure like you're out there? Is there a set time or you just kind of play with the weather or do you go all the time?
Yeah. I've kind of turned into a little bit of a fair weather where if it's not good, I'm not going to waste my time and go. Buddies will give me some grief for being on here because I'm a big upland bird hunter too. And if the duck hunting's not right, I'll take my short hairs and go quail hunt or take my labs and go pheasant hunt. But I would say my favorite time of the year is probably that Halloween push that we get in October. Seems like we always get, the Dakotas get their first batch of weather, and it seems like we always get a push right around there, and it can be really, really good.
And it's not as cold yet.
Exactly. Yep. When I go out at night to let the dogs out and I hear that classic Gadwall meep of migrating birds, I'm texting my buddies like, "Let's go tomorrow morning." So.
I gotta get my duck hunting in before it gets too cold out here.
Yep, that's it.
How's the quail? What's the quail like there right now?
Better than it's been. I think my best day last year in Nebraska was 7 or 8 coveys. So it's enough to keep it interesting, but you can definitely have some days where you walk your ass off and maybe find 2 or 3 coveys.
Yeah.
So.
We're starting to see more quail here. We're starting to get, it's been wet, but not like insanely wet, but it is more wet this year than it has been the last couple of years. So there's a couple quail running around here at the lodge. You see them on the driveway. You see them on the drive here. So they're definitely making a rebound.
Whites or
Bob whites, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have? Bob whites or blues?
Yeah, they're all bob whites. Yep.
Yeah. And it's fun to see them, it's crazy just how resilient of a bird they are. Like we can go from not seeing any quail to, seeing them. You're like, well, where the hell were the 2 survivors at?
Yep.
And
when the conditions are right, they can explode in numbers. It's kind of cool to see.
Yeah. And then when the conditions are not right, then they can become ghosts.
Yep.
Really, really quickly.
Feast to famine.
Yeah. How many? I've never quail hunted before. What is the limit on quail?
So in Nebraska, it's only 6.
Wow.
Which,
What the hell is it here?
15?
Oh, no shit.
yeah, 15.
That's a wow.
Yep.
Never have quail hunted before, so
Our
I
quail
didn't know if it was 5 or 25.
Our quail population here really rebounded last year.
I was telling them.
I saw a pair just now outside.
Yeah. And they got some babies with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a ton of fun. I'm kind of like Jeff. Eating waterfowl isn't my favorite.
Oof.
And so it's pretty easy choice for me to either go on a slow duck hunt where I'm maybe going to shoot a handful of birds, or go on an upland hunt because it'd be a cold day in hell if I ate a duck before I ate a quail or a pheasant.
I have not eaten that much pheasant. My good friend Douglas Spells has got me going to bring me some prairie chicken to eat. He said that was really good. My dad's favorite bird to eat was a prairie chicken. But quail, a grilled quail, like at restaurants here, you'll have quail. I love quail. Joe Allen's in Abilene makes them. Boy, they're damn good. And we used to cook some around here too. But I love to eat quail, but I'm like you on a duck or a goose.
Yeah. When you eat that prairie chicken, cook it like a steak. It's got to be medium rare. You don't want to overcook it. From my years guiding, I would have people on pheasant hunts every now and then. We'd get a covey of grouse pointed or have a flyby when they're going out to feed. And the guys would always say, hey, do you want them? You know, these things are bad. They're not good to eat. And I would tell them, I'll take them. I'll clean them for you and I'll make them tonight. And so I cube them, kind of do like a little quick sear in cast iron at really high heat, throw some toothpicks in them and throw them on the table with, the only thing I put on them is garlic salt. And the first guy will come over and try a bite, and he instantly reaches down, grabs another one, starts eating, and the rest of the group will kind of notice and head over, and it's gone in like a couple minutes.
And these are the prairie chickens?
And it's funny, they eat it that first night or second night. Can we go shoot some grouse tomorrow? And it's like, it's kind of a luck thing. It's not a common thing when you're pheasant hunting. They're in different habitats. So
now here's
are they a dark meat?
They are a dark meat. Yep.
Here's my really, really dumb question. You got to cook chicken all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Why? How can you not do the same with another white meat?
Well, grouse are almost, I would say they're close. They're about like a dove.
Okay.
It's not really white meat. It's pretty dark.
Right.
And I hunted them for a lot of years. I used to live out in the sandhills in Mullen, Nebraska. And I had that same thought process, prairie chicken. So I was overcooking it.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time shooting stuff that I don't eat. So I would always try to do something with them. And it was really, really hard for me to eat them. Well, I met this gentleman on a grouse hunt, or on a bird hunt, I guess I should say, probably 6 or 7 years ago on the Rosebud Indian Reservation. And he made me grouse that night at the motel we were staying at. And I was like, holy cow, I've just been in the dark. I had no idea that it could taste like that. I would compare it, when it's cooked right and seasoned right, it tastes like a sirloin steak.
Oh, geez.
Now you keep saying grouse. We're talking prairie chicken, right? You're just calling it that. They're part of the grouse family?
Yeah, they're a pinnated grouse is their actual name. The prairie chicken's just a
slang.
Yep.
Exactly. How big? I've never seen one in person that I remember. We have a couple of places. Used to have them on the Texas coast and up in the Panhandle around Canadian. They have them. How big a bird are they, like compared to a pheasant?
A little bit smaller than a pheasant. Yep.
Okay, now with pheasant, do you have to cook pheasant all the way through?
I'm not sure. All of my pheasant, I either kind of pan fry it or make it in stews and soups. It's a deal where if you overcook it, it can get a little tough, a little chewy, and my favorite is a cream of mushroom with the pheasant. So
I'll tell you what, I had pheasant soup in Lutzen, Minnesota at a place, and we went there 2 times just because of the soup. But it was a pheasant and rice soup, and it was it was probably the same as having a chicken and rice soup. Boy, it was good. which
Yeah,
pheasant's
it's
a little
really
different
good.
than chicken, but it's really good. So I never thought about that. I guess on a pheasant, you have to cook it thorough.
No,
like
I'm
you
just
would
asking.
a chicken.
I just don't know.
Makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I just don't know.
that, like in the Bible, it talks about not eating a cloven hoof, right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be pork and stuff like that. Well, a reason a lot of times back then was because they didn't have proper refrigeration. People get sick. I think it's a lot of that
Right.
stuff.
And trichinosis or whatever they have
Right.
with pigs
And that's
from not cooking it through.
right. But I don't think that's why Jesus didn't want you eating a pig or something. I think it was more of a people getting sick off of them. But
Well, it also
Yeah.
said something about, like, I think shellfish. I don't know if you're supposed to eat shellfish in the Bible.
Yep.
Like I said,
Well,
Jeff's the deacon,
Well,
so.
I don't know if that was in the Bible, but it's definitely not kosher.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yes.
there's
yes,
a lot
yes,
of
yes.
there's a lot of sinners in the South because we eat a lot of oysters.
I love lobster. I love shrimp. I mean, I'll eat anything.
I'm a sinner too. Bacon is a staple in my house. So
Oh, I love bacon. I love bacon. That's my jam. Bacon, eggs, shitload of bacon. You can't beat it.
yep.
Especially
You
if
can't
it's
beat it.
not overcooked. I do not like crispy bacon.
I'll just take my lumps. I'll ask for forgiveness when I get there.
You like it crispy or soft?
I like it done. I don't care.
I like soft
I don't like
bacon more
soft.
than
I don't like it mush.
I don't like it. I don't like it when
I
it's
like a little
crispy.
bit of texture to it.
No, not me. Okay. You shoot a lot. Do you hunt a lot of geese up there too?
So it's kind of funny. I was talking about how if I don't like to eat it, I'm not big on shooting it. I have driven some of my hunting buddies to the point of insanity because I'll stand up on the first group, shoot 2 or 3, and then I'm done. I won't shoot them again because I don't really care to eat them. But I have a couple buddies that just pound the Canadas. A good friend of mine has a warm water slough outside of Omaha. And when we get the reverse migration at the end of goose season, he just stacks them up. So,
Do you do any of the conservation order snow goose hunting? Or is that another thing? You're not
Yep.
going to eat it?
no, I actually like to go out and do that. But we take all of our birds and get them turned into snack sticks.
Yeah.
And the guy, he claims it's like I can't remember what he says, 10 or 15% pork, and I'm guessing it's more like half and half because they're pretty tasty.
See, I'm like you. I don't like ducks and geese, but the summer sausage jalapeno stack, those some bitches are good,
Yeah, they are.
and
Yep.
I like the hell out of them. But I
Yeah,
don't want to
me
eat
too.
a goose, but I like them. But I'm like you. I think my guy's about 70-30. I think they're 70% pork and about 30% goose.
Yeah, that might be what ours are. They're really good. When I do my guided hunts, I'll give them to guys just when we're having like a field lunch. And it's funny, they always guess what it is, and it takes them a long time to guess snow goose. So
Blake gets some mule deer done somewhere
Yeah.
in western Nebraska, and he gets sticks. And man, I'm telling you what, those are the best I've ever had of anything.
Yeah.
the best deer stick you'll ever have for my travels is from Renner's Corner. It's just north of Sioux Falls in South Dakota. If you're ever going through there, stop there and get the Sweet Honey deer sticks. And I'm telling you, they are to die for. They're the best.
Sweet honey.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. So are you mainly hunting like lakes and ponds, or are you hunting like the river?
So my waterfowling started off, I was like almost strictly the Platte River. And we had that flood back in, 2018, and kind of changed the river. It made the river bottom really soft and made a different channel and everything. And I've probably only since then hunted the river. I could probably count it on both hands. So I've done both, but now I'm more of a lake and a marsh guy.
Right. Blake hunts the Platte a lot. It looks like a lot of fun. I never get invited, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, he just goes out late morning. He'll shoot the birds as they're just flying up and down the river.
I would.
Not a we got to bust ass and get out there kind of deal.
Blake's gonna love the new time. What I grew up hunting public water and stuff, and hunted every kind of situation. And my favorite place to hunt was water that had like a sandbar on it, where I could shoot ducks and geese both.
Yeah, you'd really like the Platte River.
I would love that. And if I was out of the hunting business and just, retired, went somewhere, I could get into something like that where you're going to throw out a dozen duck decoys and you put out 6 Canada's decoys there and just shoot whatever you have in the morning. I would really enjoy that because that's what I used to do. Now, is the Platte, that's all private though, isn't it?
Yeah, there's only a handful of public spots. And it's one of those deals where you have to be there really, really early and get in there first. But I've always told people from out of state that I meet along the way that there's very few things that's as cool as seeing the Platte River on a big push day. It's incredible how many birds you'll see fly by.
Now, where you're at, how far is it across? Because the videos I see from Blake, it doesn't look like it's all that far across this thing.
It depends where you're at. Some spots it might be 100, 150 yards, and some spots it might be 500 plus.
Oh, okay.
His don't even look like it's 100. It looks like it's 15 yards.
It looks like
across.
You can shoot across it.
Yeah,
and it's a sandbar type situation.
He's probably hunting further west than where I'm at.
Yeah. He's on the Colorado border basically.
Yeah, so he's probably hunting the North Platte. It's you could 100% shoot across it. So I've hunted the North Platte a little bit, but the main part of the Platte where I hunted is east of Kearney, and it's pretty wide there. So
yeah, does it ever get like sketchy out on the river? Like, are you ever having like sketchy situations? Water running a little bit too high, or what?
Not even the water running too high, but on those really cold, nasty days, the ice that starts floating down the river. I've had some walks out where, you get back to the bank and look at your buddy, and it's like, man, that was really, really stupid.
That's how you make good memories.
Did you have a good hunt?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Whenever you're usually chasing decoys down the river a lot of the morning, but it's almost always a good hunt when it's like that.
Now, I'm going to ask a dumb question because I know the answer before it, but because it only happened to me once here. Have you had the morning y'all get the blue norther come in that you got open water and it freezes up as the morning happens?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've seen it a lot. Like the wind dies down as it's getting colder, and next thing you know, all of your decoys have the little ice ring around them, and the hole's frozen. So
see, I've only done that one time here. And I had to go and take the decoys and pop them out of the ice and then set them on the ice. And when it gets cold here, we have a big wind. We don't have those days where when it gets cold, we got a 40-mile-an-hour north wind. And within about an hour, I'm having to go try to walk across the lake and get my decoys as they're sliding across the ice.
Yep.
But that don't happen here much. But up there, that's pretty normal on a normal winter for y'all.
Yeah, it is.
You said your buddy had a warm water place. Is that just a spring? Is all that is?
Yeah, it's a little spring-fed creek that's maybe 15, 20 feet wide. And when we get really cold and everything locks up around there, it's amazing. Some of the duck hunts and goose hunts that we've had out of there are stuff that people pay a lot of money to go on.
And you call it warm water. Is it just a spring or is it actual thermals, like warm water, like a Yellowstone?
No, I think it's just a spring is all it is.
So it's 50-degree water, but if it's minus 10, it's pretty damn warm.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen that slough, I call it a slough, creek, whatever. I've never seen it freeze all the way over, and we've hunted it in some miserable weather.
Is there
probably negative 20 before we've been out there, and it's still not frozen over.
Whoo, shit.
That's when you put your hands in the water to warm them up a little bit.
That's right.
What now? Is there any field hunting in Nebraska that's public land?
I'd get crucified if I told you too much about that, Jeff.
You don't have to tell me where. I'm just asking. Is there?
Yes, there are some spots, but our field hunting's really weird. It kind of seems like, as far as eastern Nebraska goes, it's kind of few or far between. There's some guys that have enough land access that do it and do really well with it. But if you're a public land hunter and you're wanting to shoot cornfield mallards or just field mallards in general, you're maybe getting to do it once every couple years.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
Yeah.
Just because they're so popular and they get snatched up so quickly, or what happens?
Yeah, and I think that the spots where it could happen, there's just so much hunting pressure in general that they're never going to get into the pattern of feeding in there. They'd get shot out of there the first time they try to go in there, and they're going to say, all right, well, let's fly another couple 1,000 yards and go feed in this field.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
So, like on the busiest day, what's like the busiest day that you can remember? Like you pull into a parking lot. Like, how's this all work out? Like you pull into a parking lot to hunt these places, or what?
Yeah, usually parking lots, but sometimes just parking on the side of a county road and walking into the marsh. I would say teal season is really when the masses are out. Like I said, there's times where you'll go to one of the bigger properties and there's 60 or 75 trucks parked around it. People, they've gotten to the point where they're pulling their campers down there 2 days before and leaving them in the parking lot and staying there trying to get their spot. So
right. And then they just could you sleep at your spot the night before, or are there laws prohibiting that? You could?
Yeah, I think you still can. I know that there was some talk about that going away, but I haven't heard anything about it yet.
Is there much like like law enforcement at these places? Are there like park rangers or anything directing traffic, or is it really just like the Wild West?
It's kind of the Wild West. I've been hunting. I think I've had a license and actually been hunting since I was 11. And this is for everything. I've been checked by a game warden in Nebraska 2 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm between waterfowl, upland birds, turkeys, everything. I mean, I'm in the field. I don't even know how many days in the season, 100, 120 probably.
Twice.
As a Nebraska native and a hunter, are you against them letting, would you be against them letting y'all shoot sandhill cranes, or would you be for that?
I'm for it. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't get to. You can shoot them in South Dakota. You can shoot them in North Dakota. You can shoot them in Oklahoma. I think Kansas, you can't shoot them if I remember.
No, they hunt them in Kansas.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, why aren't we doing that if all the other states that are to the north and south of us are shooting them?
Do y'all have them in the? I know they congregate there in the spring, going back up by the millions. Do y'all have a ton of them there during hunting season also?
Depends on where you're at in the state, but it seems like they kind of blow by us. So I worked in central South Dakota for 4 years, and up there it would seem like there was like a week window or so where we'd see them and they'd be migrating. And it seems like, for me, in my experience, it's less than that even in Nebraska.
I've heard that they don't have a lot of them that would winter there during November and December and January. That they're like, we get a big push of cranes here around October 10th or 14th, the same time our geese get here, but they'll stay here the whole time. But in the spring going back, we won't have a crane here for February, and then around spring break, there are thousands of them going back home. I mean, it's one line after another, and I guess they're staying somewhere on the Texas coast, but.
Yeah, it's a huge tourist thing for that Kearney area where people travel from all over, and we have a deal called the Crane Trust out there, and rich people will spend thousands of dollars to go out into a blind just to view the roost and everything else, and it's a whole deal. And I kind of think that the state wants to protect that, and they probably make enough off of that season revenue wise that hunting season doesn't make a lot of sense to them.
So what, are they afraid that if you shot them in the wintertime that they wouldn't come back in the spring and they would lose that revenue?
I'm not sure. I would guess that's part of the argument, but to me, I don't know why, if everyone else north and south of us is shooting them, why we can't. Right.
And especially like you said, like if you don't get them, but for just a week at a time or whatever during hunting season, you wouldn't figure there'd be that many. Wouldn't be that many die.
No, I would say you'd be really lucky to get on a good crane hunt in Nebraska in the fall, even if there was a season.
Right. Yeah, I don't understand why they're so against it.
That's their state bird.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Don't make
it
any.
kind of is,
You know, Ben
but
Franklin wanted to make our federal bird the turkey,
Yes, I do know
Yep.
that.
and then we'd be having.
said it was a vain bird.
Yeah, we would be having.
Look at him peacocking out there.
We'd be having bald eagle for Thanksgiving dinners.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, we narrowly missed that one. Did you go? How was your turkey season this year? Good.
Yeah, it was good. Yep. I've been dating a girl, I guess 8 or 9 months now, and that was our first time hunting together this spring, and tested the relationship a little bit, but it was fun going out with her, and yeah, it was a pretty good season.
What are you getting there? Easterns, Merriams, or Rios?
People claim that we have all three, but really I think that all of our birds are hybrids at this point.
Yeah.
The bird I shot this year was white wing-tipped, but it's a hybrid at the end of the day.
More Merriam, Rio, less Eastern, probably.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, that's kind of what Blake has. Because he's closer to Colorado, so I mean, you can kind of see in videos that he posts of, he doesn't turkey hunt, but he'll take videos of them. They're out there by the thousands. Mm-hmm. And you can kind of tell, you can see like you said, like the white tips and then the ivory tips and then like something kind of in the middle.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Some Nebraska turkey outfitter's probably going to gripe at me saying that, but they're hybrids at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're all just a mix.
Well, Nebraska is like one of the top states to go shoot turkeys at.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them.
I hear that all the time. Everybody goes Nebraska. And Nebraska is a really cool state. I've always thought that. I have so much respect for Nebraska on the fact that how much the people support and love their university there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Lincoln's I can't remember if it's the biggest city in the state or maybe it's second behind Omaha on game days. So
everybody goes wild for Cornhusker football.
I just saw a deal on Barstool Sports. They rank things and they said Nebraska's got the best facilities in football. Texas Tech was number 2.
I've not seen anything about that.
Yep. Nebraska was number 1 and Texas is number 2 for the facilities for the players.
Right.
And the stadium, the whole ambiance for the Nebraska stadium is, I think, 95,000 people. And
yep. Yeah, they call it the Sea of Red. And I mean, it's something to see on game day down there. It's a lot of fun.
I did not realize how much people were into Nebraska sports until Blake came to work for us. And we were in Oklahoma, 8-9 years ago. And he's like, "Are we watching the game tonight?" It was like on a Tuesday night. And I'm like, What are you talking about game? Are we going to watch the big game tonight? I go, "Who?" He goes, "The volleyball game." I go, "Huh? Yeah, Nebraska girls are playing in the quarterfinals tonight or something." I said, "I ain't watching no fucking volleyball." But he's everything Nebraska. They're all, the whole state's that way.
Oh yeah, they're all in. Yep. And when they lost to Texas A&M, I was at a bar and there wasn't a seat in the place, and it was the volleyball, and it looked like a football Saturday, college football Saturday. I mean, it was just packed. So.
We were scouting, and we could get play-by-play by how Blake acted at every time somebody did something. So we were like, "Ooh, Nebraska's leading now. Ooh, that's not good." And then he put his phone up, and I said, "I guess they lost." Blake, what happened? They'd lost. But all in on it, and I respect that because there's not very many places like that. I can't think of anywhere else. Tennessee, they've got pro football there, but those people in Tennessee are crazy about the Volunteers. But or not having more than one university.
Yeah.
Tennessee's got Vanderbilt also, who has got vastly improved, but Nebraska's the only game in town for the whole state.
It is, yep.
And they really, they love it.
They love it. Places shut down. So some small towns, they kind of shut down during game days on Saturdays. So
what a time to be alive. You get early teal season, hunt Saturday, teal season, get everything cleaned up, college football on.
Yep.
Not a better time of year.
Throw some jalapeno poppers on the grill.
Oh my goodness. Just what a time to be alive.
So do y'all shoot any dove up there?
It can be good. It's really weather dependent for us. The amount of times where I've had a dove field that was just absolutely loaded, the last week of August, and then 2 days before it gets down to 45 one night and poof, they're gone. So it just depends. Last year was pretty poor for me, but the 2 years before that, I had a buddy that got permission. One year it was a wheat field, and then the other year it was oats, and we shot a ton of them out of there. So,
yeah, dove hunting is so big here, and it's crazy. You said go down to 45. I have seen us get a north wind, and it still be 98 degrees, and just a 2 mile an hour north wind, and all the dove leave.
Gone.
Yeah, and then we'll have dove, and we hunt dove all the way through October here. Every weekend we've got people here, and I've seen us hunt dove when it's 45 degrees for a high. And they're covered up. We have more dove here, I think, in January and December than we do in September and October.
Really?
And we get a late dove season now. The state gives us 2 or 3 weeks, but it's right at Christmas time. It comes at a really bad time. I wish they'd move it back a week or so.
Yeah.
And our duck season's moved back this year. We don't start goose hunting until November 7th this year. And I saw where Oklahoma's split is like in the middle of December. They got 5 days like in the middle of December. That's a shitty time.
When is y'all split?
So we have our teal season for it's a weekend, full week, and a weekend now. And then we're really weird. Our state has 5 or 6 zones. Some of the zones open up October 3rd or like the first Saturday in October. And then some of them don't open up till maybe the week before Halloween. But that's kind of how ours operates. So it all depends. Still the 60-day season, but that's just how the state does it. It's really silly. There's spots where we hunt where it's all one lake, all one public property, but we can only hunt on the north side of the highway. And there'll be geese, ducks, everything on the south side of the highway, and you can't hunt them for another 2 weeks.
That's weird.
Yeah. They've been talking about pushing the season back here to people gripe about it because, it's the classic waterfowl or ducks get done and there's mallards just everywhere. But I don't know. I really like the early season hunting. You can kind of shoot a total mixed bag. You don't know what you're going to get, and the weather's way nicer. So,
yeah.
But everything's showing like we're going to have some winter from Nebraska south.
I hope they're right.
I hope so too. Just saw an interesting note before we get off here. Boston, Massachusetts, middle of December. If they don't change the time, sun sets at 4:30 in the afternoon. That would suck.
No, you would fall back.
If they don't change it, it's 4:30. If they change it, it will be 5:30.
In the springtime?
In December.
No, Jeff, you fall back.
I just saw a deal and it showed if they don't change, if they keep the present deal right here, current winter daylight, sunset is 4:30 in Boston, December 1st. If the clocks do not change, it'll be 5:30.
Right.
Yes, if the clock goes back and it gets dark early, that's one of the things on the East Coast. It's dark at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, completely pitch black.
I thought you were saying it in reverse.
No.
So right now the sun sets at 4:30.
It will December 1st.
Right.
If they don't change it,
if they leave everything alone, it'll set at 5:30.
Right.
Okay.
And that's why right now it would be at 4:30. But if they keep it where whatever it is, you know what I mean. But that's one of the big arguments on the East Coast. Those people are going home it's pitch black dark at 4:45.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to think of.
Oh well.
That's how it is in the winter here. You get off work and it's dark out. So.
Yeah.
Andy thinks it'll only be a 1 or 2 year deal and they'll change it back again.
They did it in the 70s.
And that was the energy conserving then, they thought.
No.
I thought they were doing it because of energy.
Jeff, I've got to do it. Did you know? Here
Okay.
after a while. So just calm down.
Okay.
Just settle down.
All right. Well, Sam,
down.
we appreciate you being on here, my friend.
Yeah,
that
thanks
is
for having me.
one behaved dog, and that dog absolutely loves you because that dog looks at you. Oh, look at that.
Oh, there we go.
That's the way it's supposed to be right there.
There we go.
Yeah, she's a good one. I wish you guys could have seen my labs during the intro when the guy in the blind called the shot and all those gunshots popped off.
Everybody looking
Both of them
around?
perked their ears up and looked around. What was that? So, kind of funny.
It's too hot for that. Well, listen,
Yeah, they're dying in this the heat and the humidity that we have here is just, it's hard on them in the summer.
Yeah,
I talked to a buddy of mine today outside of Kansas City, and he told me it was 97 degrees already there this morning.
No good.
Our high tomorrow here is only like 81.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
pay for it in September.
Yeah, Squad Fest is actually going to be good weather this time. 70% chance of rain and high of 81 too. So that'd be nice. All right, Sam, you have a good day. God bless you, my friend. Take care. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you guys having me. Have a good season this year.
Thank
sir.
you very much. You
Be
too.
safe.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
Oh, there we go.
You screw up?
Nope.
All right, that's
All good.
That's Nebraska. I don't know who we're going to do next week. I need a West Virginia guy. We've never done anything in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
And I need a guy from Maine. That's what I want. And a Mexico. I want a Mexico guy, do-it-yourselfer that goes to Mexico. Outside of the drug cartel, there's got to be somebody that does hunting on your own down there.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, thank y'all for listening. God bless you. Have a great week.
Watch for deer.
Real quick.